Well, hey everybody, Chris here again. Just wanted to say thanks very much for joining us today for today's live. Today's live's a little different. Obviously, we're in the festive season, and that's kind of what we want to talk about is how busy it is this time of year, and I think you probably already know that. Before we get too far down the road, just know that Sarah isn't right here with me today, but she is in the background running everything in from behind. So she's going to be here to keep me on the straight and narrow. And if you have any questions about what we're talking about today or any appliance questions or whatever, just post them in the chat there and Sarah will pick them up and relay them to me and we'll try and answer them the best we can. But seeing as we're talking about the busy season, and there's a couple of busy seasons in most people's year. We just got through one a little while ago, Thanksgiving, and probably a portion of you have gone through a great Thanksgiving, and another portion probably went through some headaches, whereas your appliances let you down. So there are some things you can do to avoid the nightmares. And I mean nightmares like you've got a house full of people and you're entertaining and you've got the big dinner coming up and suddenly the oven's not working right, or some of the burners aren't coming on, or the dishwasher decides not to do what it's supposed to do, or you've got a whole bunch of people you're trying to entertain and the ice maker stopped working, or the water dispenser packed it in. So there's all kinds of little things that can happen that just take the edge off of your entertainment and your family time, and in some cases actually wind up costing you money you really didn't want to have to spend. So today we're just going to talk briefly about sort of the main appliances that get used during these busy times, things to look out for that can kind of give you a heads up that there's something that may be going to go wrong, and you can deal with it now before you actually get into the season. So, especially coming into the holiday Christmas season, there's a lot of baking going on. Stoves are being put right to the full test, running a lot more in the run of a day than they typically would. So if they're going to fail, this is around the time that it's going to do that. Same with your fridge. Your ice maker can be a pretty popular item when you're entertaining and, suddenly the dispenser stops working or, the water doesn't taste good or whatever. So we're just going to quickly go through each appliance, talk about some of the things that can go wrong and how you can be sort of in tune with your appliance to know whether there's something you need to deal with right away or something to go later on. So bear with me as we work through this. We're just going to talk about fridge, dishwasher, and range, and then we'll kind of talk about, maybe just wrap up today with talking about some ideas that are kind of off the cuff as far as Christmas gifts for that person that you don't know what to get them, be it he or she. So first, let's start off with the refrigerator. We'll go take a look at that and just look at the things that might be an issue that you have going on, but you're not quite aware. So here's how to find out. So let's go take a look at our fridge. And make sure you can see it well. Alrighty, actually I'm going to take you with me. You don't need to see me for this. Hang on, you're going to go for a little ride. There we go. Okay, let's come over and see our fridge. So, a lot of fridges today have the dispensers. Have water, ice, cubes, whatever. So there's nothing more frustrating than you go to get this and this isn't working. Either it's jammed up or something's not going on. And how would you know? Well, you know because you make a point of checking your ice bucket, and I usually recommend that before you get into that big holiday season, you pull your ice bucket out, whatever style of ice bucket you have, and you make a point to dump whatever's in there out and start fresh. Let it build itself a whole new series of cubes before your big entertainment time. That way they won't be clumped together, they'll work fine, and if there is a problem with the ice maker or in the way it makes the cubes, you have a little bit of time to see about getting the parts you may need to fix it or having someone look at it. So, easy enough to do. Pull your ice bin out, dump whatever's in it, and let it build a fresh set of cubes. That'll keep you from having a bunch of aggravation. The other thing to think about is your water filter. Now, water filters do have a lifespan, and 60 days, 90 days, whatever your filter says on it. So if it's been a while since you've changed it, and you're going to have a bunch of people come over and they're drawing water off for just drinking water or adding to drinks or whatever, it's a good time to change the filter. That way you know that no matter how much water is being used, everybody's going to have good, clean, fresh water, no funny taste or anything like that. So just a couple things to do is check to make sure your ice maker's all working properly. Replace your filter if it needs to be replaced or it's been a while, and get that done. The other thing you want to look at is making sure your door gaskets are sealing tight so that you're going to have proper temperatures. Make sure that they all are nice and snug. Even your freezer gasket, make sure it's good. You'll also want to check your freezer, make sure it's working and your temperature's good and everything in there is frozen nice and solid. If you're getting any kind of temperature concerns, now's the time to act on it. You don't want to have that beautiful leftovers and food being prepared in order for the big gathering, only to have the fridge temperature go wonky and you lose all that food. The other thing you want to do is kind of take a listen. Open your fridge doors. Listen to the fans that are running in here. If you're starting to hear some rattles and squeaks, that fan motor is getting worn and it's going to give you grief. If it's been doing it for a while, it may fail on you right when you need it the most. And most refrigerators today are two separate compartments. So this area has a fan motor. Freezer has a fan motor down in the back. And as well, around behind where your compressor is, there'll be another fan motor. And sometimes you'll hear them clicking and whirling and starting to make little squealing sounds. So if you're getting any strange noises, you'll want to get after those right away before it becomes that problem. So the next favorite appliance is, of course, our friend the dishwasher. Now the dishwasher is the one appliance that used to generate more emergency calls for us as service technicians. Not the washer, not the dryer, not even the stove, the dishwasher. Because when you have a whole bunch of people coming to visit, you need to have your dishwasher working, and for some reason that seems to be the time when they like to act up. So you can do a few things just to check and make sure that you're not going to have a problem with your dishwasher. And that is simply a matter of checking your spray arms. Just ease your racks out of the way. Check to make sure your spray arms rotate nice and smooth. Take a look at them to make sure that all the little holes in the spray arms are nice and clear. They're not plugged with anything. Same for the ones in your upper rack. Make sure that spray arm turns freely and that the holes are nice and clear. If they are plugged, you can use a toothpick to push or pull the debris out of the way, and you'll find that just totally increases the performance of your dishwasher in a major way. If your dishwasher has a filter, this is something you want to do before it gets into that busy time, is take the filter out and clean it. They're pretty easy to do. Now, if your dishwasher doesn't have this type of setup in the bottom of the sump, then it has an internal filter in underneath and its own cleaning and flushing mechanism. And those are usually fairly trouble-free, but if you're finding that your dishwasher is slow to drain, or if you're getting a very unpleasant odor, then you may need to have that taken apart and make sure that filter is cleaned out. But this doesn't take very long to do, just a matter of taking it out, washing it under the sink. And again, this makes your performance of your dishwasher go so much better. And again, removes a lot of the odor that you sometimes find when you open up the door. And that's not always a pleasant smell, especially when you get company over that decide to help and they want to load the dishwasher for you. Heaven forbid. The other thing you may want to look at too with your dishwasher is your racks. Probably during those heavy, busy times when you've got a bunch of people and a lot of dishes, is the wheels and the rollers on the racks. They do wear out. And if they wear out, they can break, and you can wind up with a rack that tends to try and fall out, or it doesn't want to come out easy or go back in easy. And they're very easy to fix. They are a normal wearing item, these wheels and these guides. So check your racks and make sure they're moving smoothly and they're staying nice and even. They're not catching as they go in from one side to another. That's a sign usually that there's some of the wheels are starting to go. So easy to check. As well, you may want to inspect your rack. Look at the coating that's on the tines and here where they join. These are areas that can get some wear and tear, and you'll start to see the coating wear off, and you may even start to see some rust spots. And the downside to that is you're going to wind up seeing those rust spots, and you're going to start seeing them on your dishes. When you lay your dish in and it rests against that area, it'll transfer that rust onto the dish, on your dishes. It can be very, very hard to get off. So just a quick inspection, make sure everything's working. If you're using a detergent that doesn't have a rinse aid in it, make sure that your rinse aid dispenser is full. And that way that everything comes off the dishes very easily, comes out nice and clean, and it actually helps the dishes dry by allowing all that water to sheet off. So again, noises. If you hear any strange squeaks, grinding noises from your dishwasher, you may want to get that looked at before you have to put a big demand on it. So that's dishwasher. Now the other favorite appliance, of course, is our range. And there's a few things you may want to look at doing with your range. And this type 1 is a smooth top. And it's very popular today. Most ranges are smooth top range. And this one, as you can see, has multiple burners. Enough of that guy. We've got a warming one. We've got a small back burner. I'm wrecking the place. Another small back burner. 2 large burners in the front. Dual element. Center element is a fast boil, which is a high wattage, so it'll bring that pot to boil really quick. This has got 3 large, medium, and small burners all built into it. Any one of these can act up, and you'll know when it does. You've got a large pot, and you're only getting these coils coming up, or only that coil, or just the outer one, and it may need to have the element or the sensor replaced. As well, your infinite switches. You'll want to turn on your oven, you'll want to turn on your burner and make sure that it's coming on. You'll want to set it at a couple of low settings so you can hear it cycle and see your burner flash up and then cycle off. If you find that you're leaving this infinite switch on a low setting and the burner staying on high, that switch needs to be replaced. And if you're going to be doing a whole lot of cooking for the Christmas season, you're probably going to need all those burners working. So let's find out now which ones are working properly, which ones aren't, so you can get that dealt with as soon as possible. The other thing to suggest is cooktop cleaning. A lot of people wait till after Christmas or after the big cooking session for Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever the occasion is. Wait till it's all done and finished up and everything that's spilled over it needs to be cleaned off. And it gets to be a bit of a chore. So I recommend, and I know I'm not the one that uses the stove, but to save yourself a lot of grief before you get into that big day when you're cooking and got 3 and 4 pots on the go at once, before those days come up, clean your cooktop. Use your cooktop cleaner. It not only cleans, but it also puts a protecting film, almost like waxing your car, on the glass surface. And what this will do is it'll give you a coating that when something does spill over, it'll wipe up really easy. So instead of you having things boiling over on a top that's not well protected, if you give it that protection, you're going to find cleanup after the big cooking day a heck of a lot easier, and it's really good to protect your cooktop anyway, just to keep it from scratching. Door gaskets, you want to just check and make sure that they're soft and pliable, not torn. If they're torn or out of place, you know you're going to get heat loss, and you'll see that because it'll start giving you some brown and dark coloring here, where food vapors are starting to make their way past the gasket. So if you're seeing that, you know you need to do something about that gasket, because that's going to throw your temperatures off, and if you're doing bake items, short cook times, it's just going to be wonky. And that's another thing you may want to do before you get into your baking season, and for some of you maybe it's too late, you're probably already heavy into it, is it's always a good idea to do a test run. Just do a small few pans of cookies or whatever you prefer to bake. Do some test runs first before you make up those big, large amounts in order to make dozens and dozens of cookies. Do a test one. Make sure that the oven is keeping the temperature of what you expect it to be at the settings you usually use for your recipes. So just a few little things to be aware of and to check for. If your range has a fan in it, if it's a convection bake or convection oven and uses that fan, you'll want to make sure it's working smoothly. So if you're hearing any squealing or rattling from it, it's going to be a problem. And if you're doing a lot of baking and a lot of cooking through that season, that's when it's going to start to give you the trouble, either not running at all or running intermittently. So that's something else to check. So those are kind of the quick things that you can do to make sure that your appliances are working and ready. Because nobody wants to, hey, how's the tree look? See, we got some nice stuff underneath the tree already. I guess most of that stuff are things that I'd like to get. We've got our fireplace going today. But I got a couple items here that, you know, for that person that's hard to buy for, and you can decide whether you want to risk buying something for that special person that involves cleaning or doing work. That's a little tricky. But if you're looking for some off-the-wall ideas for, say, that person that has gas-powered equipment for outdoors, chainsaws, lawnmowers, weed whackers, these little items, those folks who run that equipment love to get something like this in a stocking. Everything from, this is for mixing your mixed gas for your chainsaws and weed whackers. We've got fuel preservative. Have fuel. This is already pre-mixed for your outdoor tools that require mixed gas, and you can get regular gas in these containers as well. They'll fit in a big stocking. They're easy to wrap, put under a tree, but they're just really handy to have. As well as something else to consider that might be funny to put under a tree, but it's very important for this time of year. We have a smoke detector and a CO detector. So this time of year we tend to be doing more type of heating sources than normal. We're starting to burn more wood for those of you who do, either pellets or actual wood. And even those of you who are on gas supply using gas furnaces, CO2 detector is really important to have in the home. And if you haven't replaced them in a while, you know, usually after 5 years they recommend them changing them, so it's not a bad idea. Nice and easy, not very big, not terribly expensive. Wrap them up, throw them under the tree, and it's a neat little gift for someone. For appliances, we can be talking about, well, we talked about cleaning the cooktop. So there's a number of different products out there. You can get just the cleaning cream, which works really well. This is a popular brand, but you may have your own brand that you're more content to use, but you'll find they do a marvelous job at protecting your cooktops. You can even get the kit. And the kits come with not just the cream, but they'll come with a scraper blade and a pad for cleaning. So this whole thing, nice little kit, gets you everything you need to keep that top looking clean. And that cream, such as like in this bottle and the bottle that's in here, is not just for one application, it's for quite a few. So those kits will give you, almost a year of cleaning your stove, depending on how much you use it and how much time you have where things boil over and stuff. Stainless appliances are very popular nowadays. And the wonderful part about stainless is it's nice and shiny and it looks great when it's clean, but it doesn't look so great when it has fingerprints and water spots from things boiling over and steam. So stainless steel cleaner and polish is great. Takes all that oil residue off and puts a protective coating on that, so it makes it easier for those new fingerprints and stuff and spills to wipe right off. Especially good on your fridge as well. They can get the cleaner and the protector for your stainless steel refrigerator. That'll come in either a spray or you can use like these. These are wipes. And for this time of year, when we have a lot of the kids around and in the wintertime and they're all inside and they want to be in the fridge every 5 minutes, opening and closing doors, or they just like to put their hands on them. Or if you have pets in the house, and we all can tell how tall our pets are is because you'll find nose prints at various heights on the appliance, especially dishwasher. Dishwasher, the pets tend to love to come over and follow those scents and look to see if there's anything there. So you'll find various heights of nose prints, children's fingerprints, and again, these stainless steel cleaners and protectors are fantastic for putting that protective coating, so you can easily get those oily, greasy fingerprints off your appliances. Your dishwasher, sometimes you'll open up your door to your dishwasher and the smell that comes from it, even though it looks clean inside, is not very good. That's because there's some water and food particles laying into pieces that you can't typically see. So you'll want to give it a really good thorough cleaning. And some of these cleaning pods are fantastic. The instructions are very easy to follow on how to use them. And it's basically just running through a cycle. And that's going to clean everything within the dishwasher, not just in the tub, but down through the whole pump and drain assembly. And you'll find that's going to take away a lot of the odor and smell that you may be finding that's in your dishwasher at times. So what other little things can we talk about? Sarah, anybody thrown any questions our way, or are they all busy wrapping presents and stuff?
No, it is a quiet crew online today, so no questions coming in.
Okay, well that's not a surprise. It's a busy time of year, and everybody's got lots on the go and lots of things that they got to do. So we can certainly understand that. But if anybody's watching this live later on, and again a question comes up regarding anything we've talked about or anything you'd like to talk about regarding your appliances or your kitchen equipment, food processors, anything at all, including your outdoor equipment. If you've got any questions or problems or concerns, please by all means send them to us, and we will do our best to try and get you an answer as quick as we can. It's a busy time of year and we understand that, so if you don't get a chance to join us today, it's a really great idea to take the opportunity to subscribe. And if you liked what you saw today, of course, give it a like. But if you subscribe, then you'll be aware of all our upcoming lives and our other videos that we are producing that will help you with all your appliances and your outdoor equipment, as well as anything else that you may have in your home that we can help with. And as well, of course, if there's anything you need for your appliances or outdoor equipment as far as parts go, you can visit us online, find what you need very easily with just your model number, and pick out your part, and we'll send it to you as quick as we can get it to you, which is usually in just a few days. And as well, if you look at our website, you'll find there's a lot of information there that'll help you not only diagnose the part, but show you how to replace it as well. So hopefully you find all that information helpful. If there's something you're looking for and you can't find it, please by all means just write into us, and we will be more than happy to try and get you the answers you need. So saying all that, I think probably Sarah and I will let you all go, but we just want to take a minute just to thank you all our customers, all our friends. If I can get this to tuck back in. Well, we won't do it that way because I'm afraid I'm going to drop it. Anyway, it's just our opportunity to wish you all a great holiday season that's coming up. Hopefully you're not all too busy. I know many of you probably may still be working through the holidays, and we appreciate you being there to do what needs to be done. But we just want to, on behalf of Sarah and I and the rest of our gang here at Parts Select, we just want to say thank you and have a great holiday season.
We'll be back in 2026 with some more fun videos for you.
Exactly. So thanks very much. Have a great day and stay safe. Bye now.